The Montreal Canadiens have a golden opportunity as mock drafts are coming out left and right, and there has been one name, a right-hand shot defenseman that perfectly fits the mold of what the Habs are looking for in a D-man. We have to dive into Logan Hensler and what he brings to the table as he has recently been linked to the Habs. Plus, we have to talk about Habs goalie prospect, yes, another one, Quentin Miller, putting up literally historic numbers in the BCHL playoffs. And a final note on Pascal Vincent's comments about if an NHL team could poach him from Laval, all that coming up on this episode of Habs Digest. And we're going to dive straight into Pascal Vincent, Jesse. Look, no secret, he's done an amazing job this year in Laval, leading them to the number 1 seed in the entire AHL by a full 5 points. The difference in the number 1 and 2 seed was the difference between the 2 and 7 seed. Laval was number 1, and it was not close this year. So naturally, that has people wondering, what's the future for Pascal Vincent? Our team's going to try and take him? Well, he had some thoughts on the matter. He said, look, if an NHL team wants my services, they're going to have to be patient. Usually, when you really want someone, you can wait 1, 2, 3 weeks, or even a month. Just to be interviewed for an NHL head coaching job is an immense privilege, but for now, my focus is on this team here in Laval. I really like hearing those comments, Jesse, but I also think Pascal Vincent is self-aware. He's like, yeah, absolutely, I did a good job. They're going to come knocking. What do you think? Is he going to be back behind the bench next year?
Some pretty classy words here from Pascal Vincent, but Josh, I think he's being picked up. We know there is a lot of vacancies for head coaches in the NHL, and we know how often GMs, they like to look for coaches that have previous head coaching experience in the NHL. So there is a very strong tension when you just put those two factors together, obviously combined with the success he's had this year, but he knows his full focus is on the playoffs. Of course, that does relate to, having success there. That's probably going to have some implications with his career and how that goes. But again, a very, very classy move from him to just have this full focus right now with the Montreal Canadiens. And I love just this attitude as well. You're totally right. Like, he knows he's in demand, and he's right. The teams are going to wait for that time, and he doesn't want to rush on any type of decisions right now.
No, and he shouldn't. But you know what, Jesse? I think one of the biggest things for him this year is, again, I feel like people don't realize not only how young Montreal is, but how young this Laval team is this year with a lot of their best players. Yes, there's some veterans like Laurent Dauphin, Alex Barré-Boulet, other guys like that. But this team, at its core, is extremely young, one of the youngest in the AHL. And for him to be able to manage such a young team in a league like the AHL, I think is incredibly valuable. So look, if you're an NHL team and you're looking for a coach for your young guys, he's a guy that can come in and absolutely implement the right culture, I should say. So let us know your thoughts on Pascal Vincent down below. But Jesse, on the note of Habs prospects, it's time to talk about Quentin Miller. Haven't talked about him in a while. He was injured most of last year. He was injured there at camp this year. We didn't get a good glimpse of him, but he had a great year with the Chilliwack Chiefs. In the 10 games that he did get to play, of course, post-injury, .923 save percentage over in the BCHL, switching over from the Quebec League. Jesse, .942 save percentage in the playoffs with a 1.77 GAA. That is not a typo. Quentin Miller just got a 28 save shutout. He backstopped into their Game 4 win. Jesse, they're one win away from the finals in the BCHL. He's a guy that's been on our radar. We saw him at the rookie camp, and he was doing some good stuff. But this is based on some numbers that I couldn't confirm, around top 5 all time for a BCHL playoff run. Couldn't quite confirm it, but that's what I saw. How are you feeling about Quentin Miller? I saw someone say we might need some more goals to tend in the future if this kind of stuff keeps up with our prospects.
He's a dark horse, but I feel also Volokin's kind of Volokin's a dark horse. How many good prospects that we have that kind of come out of the woodworks? We had good feelings. Lo and behold, here they are backing it up when it matters in the playoffs. And we know, Josh, that never goes out of style. From Montreal, it really is important to know, and he's upping his game, when it really matters right now. He was already having a respectable 2.29 GAA in the regular season, elevating that to a 1.77 again, in the playoffs. So, obviously, we have so many great goalies in the organization right now, but obviously playing when it matters is just absolutely phenomenal to see.
I'm curious about him, because look, Jesse, I mean, he's 20 years old playing in the BCHL. Again, you don't usually see too many people at that age putting up those kind of numbers really make that big jump to the NHL. But there have been some good players. Don't forget, Alex Newhook is a BCHL alum as well. But when it comes to him and some question marks with Laval next year, I know Cayden Primeau's future, Jacob Fowler, whether he can make the big club, Jakub Dobeš. Do you think there's maybe a world where maybe if we trade someone like a Primeau, Quentin Miller could come in and be the backup in Laval? Is that far-fetched to say? Because I'm starting to think maybe it's not.
We'll have to see. I know that he looks like he's committed right now to going to Denver to
Oh,
play for
right.
next year in
You're
the
right.
NCAA. But, at the same time, it's like that Laval net, it's only going to be a matter of time before that's getting really crowded as well, right? Like, it's absolutely phenomenal. Like, Josh, I'm just curious to see. I'm getting my popcorn. Like, what's going to happen with Primeau? Like, how does this all, like, you have to feel like, again, he's been in such situations, right? Where like he's playing good and then he's just getting like the short end of the stick again, even by no fault of his own. A Fowler just playing so well. But like, I mean, he was given his opportunity. We'll have to see how things play out there. I'm getting on the Fowler hype as soon as next season that he's pressing for a spot in Montreal. Maybe that's freeing something out in Laval. I mean, we almost need to with all the prospects that we have coming up right now.
It's crazy. I think I must have missed or forgot that he was committed to Denver. You're absolutely right. So yeah, it won't even be next year, but 2 years from now, who cares? It doesn't matter when, because we have this pipeline of goalies that is absolutely insane. So many question marks right now. Look, are many of them going to be NHL stars? Fowler seems like he could be on that track, but look, even if they're not, even if they're just a solid backup, everyone needs something like that, and that's what we love to see. Leave your thoughts on Quentin Miller down below. Final thing for today, though, Jesse, it's draft talk time. I love talking about the draft. It's that time of year. And look, there have been a lot of mock drafts going around about different players, different things, and Montreal's been talked about a lot, but a recent Montreal Hockey Now article dove through a couple of prospects, and there was one that we've mentioned before. We've seen other people mentioned. We haven't mentioned it on the show, but his name is Logan Hensler. Now, he's coming out of the University of Wisconsin, of course, Cole Caufield's alma mater. 32 games, 12 points there, but he's a 6'2", 196, 18-year-old right shot D-man, and look, he could really work. Now, the interesting thing with Hensler, though, Jesse, is that he's ranked everywhere from 31st by Craig Button and Smart Scouting all the way up to number 11 by Bob McKenzie and FC Hockey. Two different people at TSN have him differing by 20 draft slots. But the thing with Logan Hensler, look, we're talking about the Habs need a solid right-hand shot, shutdown defenseman. Doesn't matter if it's like, look, oh yeah, I know we got David Reinbacher, and I know we'll have some Logan Mailloux, some guys coming up there now. But this kind of player isn't always readily available who can turn into an NHL player. So when you see one, it's a golden chance to go grab one. And according to Dobber Prospects, his greatest strength is his rush defense. He's among the best in his class, proactive in breaking up plays in the neutral zone, and when pinching, very timely stick, controls gaps, and he's lanky. He's 6'2", has a great stick. He can be accomplished by growing into his frame and building that strength. And Jesse, one thing with him, from what I've seen, a lot of scouts said he just improved and improved and improved as the season went on. Do you have any thoughts about Logan Hensler despite the kind of lackluster offensive production? Because honestly, a guy like this, if he's available in the Habs range, it wouldn't be a stretch for me to say. I think getting a big right shot D-man who's great at rush defense, I just never think that's a bad idea.
There's some risks there, but equally some reward, some big opportunity for that in this player here. I have to preface my comments by saying that I am totally okay with the Montreal Canadiens packaging their 16th and 17th overall picks for the right player. That being said, it's like great rush defender where it's like if Reinbacher ends up becoming more of like an offensive type of guy, which he can, he's shown he can lay the ball, but let's say he becomes that type of guy, this is a very complimentary right-hand D. We already know what type of offensive dynamo we have in Lane Hudson. To have on this team, remember, defense wins championships, especially in the playoffs. Teams that are able to really defend off the rush, it's absolutely just so important in that 5v5 type of play. And really, I love the scouting report here. We're saying that proactive style, which that's just a nice way of saying aggressive style of defending the rush, which I'm totally okay with, again, when it comes to that playoff style of hockey. So really a lot of things that for me kind of are really sparking my interest.
Absolutely. And like, look, we have a lot of left-hand shot defensemen. And again, this guy here, when you're talking to a guy like this who's in college and he's still young, he's 18, a bigger right-hand shot defenseman who is just now, as the season went on, really starting to learn how to use his body more. These kind of guys might take even more years to get into the league. We might be talking to a guy who might not even break through for another 3 or 4 years. And that, hey, you never mind that. Like, imagine 3-4 years time. You know, okay, you're looking for a replacement. Hey, third pairing defenseman. How about this 6'2" guy who excels at rush defense just to stick on that third pairing? Again, you're picking in the first round. This is not that deep a draft, according to a lot of analysts. So this could be a good pick, but let us know your thoughts. There's a lot of guys that we could talk about, that we will talk about from here to the draft. Let us know your thoughts on Hensler, trading picks, any of that stuff, because that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching every single day. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.